Hey, have you heard about my AI alter ego? That's right. Ask Alan Anything is now live, and we've trained it on my 13 books. We've trained it on over 200 podcasts. It has most of what's in here, not everything, but most of what's in here. And you can, when you're sitting around going, gee, I wonder what Alan would do in this situation, or I wonder what Alan would say in this situation. Well, now you can. Go to whatwouldallansay.com. Enter the coupon code podcast because you're going to get half off. It starts at only $10 a month. And now when you're thinking, I wonder what Alan say, now you can actually ask. Go to whatwouldallansay.com, enter the coupon code podcast, and start asking me anything. Are one-page websites coming back? Listen to this episode. Welcome to another episode of the Wedding Business Solutions Podcast. I'm your host, Alan Berg. I'm a speaker, author, sales trainer, website reviewer, and I help businesses like yours sell more, profit more, and have more fun doing it. Enjoy this episode. Hey, it's Alan Berg. Welcome back to another episode of the Wedding Business Solutions Podcast. This is another Ask Me Anything suggestion, this time from Dave in California, who said that he created a new website for his entertainment company, and his web designer suggested they make it one page. He used to call these a parallax website, where you don't go click to different pages. You can click to different parts of the page. So if you click on a menu item, it might take you down further on that page. This was a popular thing, I'm going to say 10 plus years ago. And I hadn't heard that it was coming back, but when I did a little digging into this, I found out it is actually a thing that's coming back. And there were pluses and minuses for it. You know, having just a one-page site may not be the best thing for your SEO, search engine optimization, because you have all of this information diluting what's on that page as opposed to having separate pages. So if you only do one thing, let's say you only do DJing for weddings. Let's say this is Dave and he only does DJs for weddings. Well, then having all that content on one page could be a plus. But if you, like many people, do weddings and corporate and mitzvahs and quinces and fundraisers and other type of events, having all of that on one page might not be a great result for SEO, for search engines, because there's so much on that page. You don't seem like the specialist. That doesn't seem like the right page for them. So there were pluses and minuses when I looked into that. You can, again, do a search yourself. One of the other pluses is once that page loads, everything's there. You don't have to worry about another page loading when you click on a link and the page doesn't come up. The other side of that is if there's a lot of images and things on the page, it could take a long time for that page to load. Right. Now, the way you can fix that also is having your designer have the images load as they come down the page instead of loading the entire page all at once. This way they can see the stuff at the top, and as they move down, the other stuff would load, or is loading in the background. So you don't want someone to go to your site and just not have it come up, for a minute because it's trying to load all of this content in the back end. So that could be a downside to it. Simplifying the navigation, that's always a good thing for the user. So that's a plus to this, possibly a plus. I don't think I would go to a one-page site for myself because I have different services and I have one page for each of those services. So it's having me speak. There's a speaking page. There's a consulting page with website reviews also. There's a mastermind page, right? There's a podcast page. So having those specific pages lets me do this type of thing, one page per service, as opposed to having 5 pages about my speaking. Right? Now, there's one page for the speaking. There's one page for my speaking topics. There's another page for after you've hired me and you need my bio and things like that, my headshots or whatever. That's another page. But you don't need that when you're trying to find out about speaking. You need to know about speaking. You want to find out about sales training. You go to the sales training page. Everything you need is there. There are links to other pages. If you're looking more for group training like a mastermind, it'll link you to that page. But then once you're there, it's not diluted with all the other things that I do. So if what you do is so narrowly focused for one audience and one type of thing, it might be something to consider if you're considering a new site, maybe having a one-page site. Most people that I work with need more than just the one page. I can imagine the page getting really, really long. You also have to think about how much of your traffic is mobile, right? How long is that page going to be on mobile? I was just working with someone and they had 3 photos across on their site. I said, yeah, that's desktop. When it goes to mobile, do they stack? Because that, what doesn't look like it takes up that much room, all of a sudden could take up 2-3 pages on their site. The same thing where they had a contact form with like the text about the contact form on one side, and then to the right was the actual form. Well, on mobile, that's going to stack, and all of a sudden, that's going to make that longer as well. So how much of your traffic is mobile? My site, it's only 25-30%. It's been like that for 14 years. You, my audience, are looking at my site on desktops and laptops more than mobile, right? Your audience, if it's weddings certainly, is probably looking more on mobile than they are on desktop and laptop. So you might flip that script and say, hey, how does this work for me on mobile? Is a one-page site the right thing for me to do? It doesn't mean you need 12 pages, but you might need more than one for certain things. The things they most need, put right there, but then you might have some other pages. So for SEO, search engine optimization, more pages isn't necessarily better. One page isn't necessarily better. There's so much more to it than that, but it's a great discussion to have. So Dave, I thank you for bringing this up. Is a one-page site right? Well, I would also think about yourself as a consumer. Have you gone to somebody's one-page site? Are you looking and saying, hey, do I like the way this functions? Is this easier to navigate for me, or is it harder? And that's what you want to do, is reduce the friction, make it easier for your customers. If a one-page site makes it easier for them to find what they need and then to get a hold of you, then maybe it's the way to go. Right? Again, I can't see it for me because I know that I need to separate this content. Have I cut down the number of pages on my site over the years? Absolutely. I've gotten rid of the pages that are not necessary, or I've made them less accessible so you get to them through other content instead of being on the top navigation. So still simplifying the navigation to get to stuff without necessarily cutting the number of pages. So anything that makes it easier for the customers is better. If it's a one-page site that works right for you, and Dave, I hope it does for you. It sounds like you love it. So I hope that works for you and your customers. Time will tell. Do you get more inquiries? Do they convert better? Then that's part of the game that's making it better for you. So I hope it is. Thanks for the suggestions. If you have one, go to podcast.alanberg.com, click on the Ask Me Anything button, and make your suggestion for the podcast. And of course, if you have a question you want to ask me, you can ask my AI alter ego, Ask Alan Anything. Just go to whatwouldalansay.com and make sure you use the coupon code podcast. So it's only $10 a month to ask me anything. Thanks. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Wedding Business Solutions podcast. If you liked it, please subscribe to this channel and post a review on your chosen platform, Apple Podcasts or whichever one. If you have any questions about anything in this episode or any of my episodes, email me directly at alan@weddingbusinesssolutions.com or visit my website, alanberg.com, alanberg.com. If you have any suggestions for future topics or guests that you'd like to see, please again, email me or visit my website. Thanks for listening.